Welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to master a very common English grammar hurdle today, and we're going to do it using a brilliantly structured educational worksheet. Seriously, if you've ever caught yourself pausing mid-sentence trying to choose between do and does, well, we are going to completely break down the mechanics behind them. Here's the source material we're going to be working through together. You can see how it visually breaks down the rules into these really bite-sized, digestible pieces. And as we dissect this structure, you'll see that the underlying patterns of these everyday words are actually highly predictable. Okay, let's dive into this by setting up our absolute foundation. The core rule here is that we use do and does strictly to talk about actions in the present tense, right? We aren't analyzing past events, we're not looking at future possibilities. Keeping your focus on the present tense is literally step one to getting this right every single time. Now, I love how the worksheet handles this. It basically splits our pronouns into two distinct rival teams. On the left, we've got team do, which includes I, you, we, and they. And on the right side, we have team does, made up of the singular third-person pronouns, he, she, and it. Memorizing this exact breakdown is the secret key. If you can build this automatic sorting mechanism in your mind, you'll always get the grammar right. Let's look at our first clear example of team do in action from the source material. I do my homework. Because I falls into that first category, the verb follows suit. It is a super straightforward, mechanical application of the rule. Now contrast that immediately with team does. He does exercise daily. Do you see how the verb shifts mechanically based entirely on the pronoun? The very second the subject changes to the third person singular, he, the rule steps in and dictates that we absolutely have to use does. Jumping back over to our first group, we have we do our project. This really reinforces the do rule, but this time with a plural pronoun. So even though we means there are multiple people involved, the structural rule is entirely consistent. The pronoun dictates the path no matter what. And this brilliantly illustrates how the rule applies just as strictly to non-human pronouns. It does tricks. So whether you're talking about an animal, a concept, or just an inanimate object, it is always going to trigger does. The logic just holds completely firm across the board. All right, moving into the interactive portion of the explainer. Let's hit activity 1. I really want you to actively guess along with me here to see how these structures are actually tested. Ready? Okay, our first prompt asks us to complete this sentence. He blank his work. Based on those pronoun teams we just talked about, which one is it? It's does. He does his work. Remember, he is always on team does. It demands that es suffix on the verb. Let's keep it moving. The next one is we blank homework. Think back, what's the rule for the pronoun we? That's right, it's do. We do homework. Since we represents a plural group, it keeps that verb right in its base form. Awesome job if you got that one. Let's keep this rapid-fire momentum going. Question 3. She blank dance. Which verb matches she? So the crucial point is that it's she does dance. She behaves exactly like he and it. They act as this consistent little trio of singular pronouns that all trigger that exact same verb form. Okay, here is the final quiz question from the source. They blank playing. Pay attention to that plural pronoun they. And the answer is they do playing. Structurally, they acts just like we, requiring that base verb. You guys did fantastic with this practice round. You've got the structural logic down perfectly. To wrap up, the final prompt from the worksheet gives us a bit of a challenge. Think and write. Write one sentence about something you do every day. This is all about taking the lesson and applying it to your own real-world actions. And honestly, it leaves us with something pretty interesting to think about. If these basic, rigid categorizations hold so firmly to form the invisible architecture of everything we say, what other hidden structural rules are quietly governing the rest of the languages we speak every single day?